Welcome back to the podcast, folks. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this week we're chatting with Mathew Pritchard. Yep, Pritchard from Dirty Sanchez. He came on for a chat. Awesome to meet him. What a top bloke. But firstly, a quick shout out to the podcast sponsors, who are, as we know, Innov. Now, Innov supply motorcycle dash cam systems. They range from the single C5 to the dual K systems. They have the K3 and the K5. The K3 is a 1080 front and rear camera. It's got a Wi-Fi enabled app. It's got a remote. The K5 is an upgraded 4K model. It also has an external mic. It has a remote, but it has faster Wi-Fi, which just makes using the app that little bit more user-friendly, shall we say. You can download files and things a bit quicker. That's all well and good, but the main point of having these motorcycle dashcam systems is for your insurance. In the event of an accident, the first thing that's going to be asked is there CCTV? And if you've got one of these fitted, it can be the difference between a claim going your way or against. Head to innov.co.uk, that's innovv.co.uk/TP with the number 1, TP1, for more information and tell them I sent you. We're also supported by Ultimate Add-ons. Ultimate Add-ons are the premium manufacturer of mobile phone and action camera mounting solutions for motorcycles. With a kit for any bike and a proven track record of creating products that keep your devices safe, secure and easily accessible, the Ultimate Add-ons product range is ideal for any rider from the commuter to the round-the-world adventurer. Why shell out on an expensive GPS system when you could use your smartphone, keeping it charged and within reach to take photos of your travels at the same time? The Ultimate Add-ons waterproof, shockproof and dustproof tough cases are available for all flagship smartphone models and are designed by riders for riders. Find out why Ride Magazine gives Ultimate Add-ons their coveted Best Buy certification. Keep riding through the winter with Ultimate Add-ons. It's all about the journey. If you head to ultimateaddons.com and use the code TeapotOne10, that's TeapotOne with the number 10, all one word, you will get 10% off. And lastly, we're also supported by the Influencer Store. Now, the Influencer Store helps you build your brand, big or small, providing you with a solution and apparel. We help you to increase your fan base while supporting you with starting your own influencer clothing line with nothing more than just an idea or design, and there are no hidden costs. For more info, come check us out at theinfluencerstore.co.uk or drop us an email at online@influencerstore.co.uk for more information. And again, tell them Teapot One sent you. Now, if you head over to TeapotOne.com, if you go to the shop, all my merch is handled by the Influencer Store, so that'll give you an idea of the quality we're talking about. And finally from me, a massive shout out to everyone who's supporting the podcast and the channel over on Patreon. It is a massive lifeline. I could not do this without you folks, so a huge thank you from me to each of you. If you'd like to support the channel or the podcast, head on over to patreon.com/TeapotOne. Okay, let's crack on with this week's episode. Can't believe I got to chat with him. Here's Pritchard. Well, folks, welcome back to this week's Brew Time. And this week, look who we've got. It's Mathew Pritchard.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, what's up, everyone? You right? Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm just, I got quite a busy day today.
Right.
So, yeah, just got up pretty early and just getting on with it.
Crack on. How long have you got? What sort of time scale are we looking at?
We've got an hour. I've got another podcast in about an hour, so I'll
Right,
11
no
o'clock.
Okay.
So we've got an hour to rock and roll and chat and do all that kind of stuff.
Lovely job. Well, you won't be surprised to hear. So go on.
I actually had an early morning yesterday because it was the summer solstice. So
I was watching your Insta.
Yeah, I normally go up a mountain or something like that. And I thought I was having a sports massage in a place in Cardiff, and I just thought, well, we're doing a couple of mountain again this year. I'd rather do something a little bit different. Uh-huh. So I thought, let's go to Jackson's Bay, where I like to go swimming anyway. I just put it out on Insta, and quite a few people turned up, and it was a good laugh. We took some music down. We were all singing Bohemian Rhapsody and Water. And it was so next year we're going to do it again. It's going to be brilliant. But it was a good buzz.
Yeah, it looked really good. Folks, if you're not following Matt's Insta, make sure I'll leave links down below. Make sure you follow that because, I'm loving what you're up to. My motto is live your life, and you've definitely done that, and you're continuing to do it. It's great to see. The way the format these podcasts run is we have a chit chat, but people also get the opportunity to leave questions, and we sort of go through the questions, and you know what they're like. They can take us down umpteen different avenues. So I tend not to pre-read the questions, so they're as much a surprise to me as they are to you. So how about, first off, if I just throw the floor open to you just to do an intro, like, Mathew Pritchard, what's your name? Where'd you come from? What you do? Bosh.
Mathew Pritchard. I'm from Cardiff. I left college. I left school to go to college to learn how to become a chef. That sort of went a little bit pear-shaped. Got a bad experience there. I was a skateboarder at the time, and then I turned. Skateboarding was my love. Did it 24/7. Become a professional skateboarder. Traveled the world doing it, doing demonstrations, demos, and all that kind of stuff. Then I started working in the industry for Globe Skateboard Shoes. And then me and Dayton made a video called Pritchard vs. Dayton, which had Pancho and Joycey in it. It was the most talked about skate video at the time. Went out on sale. Then I had a talent scout from MTV phone me up and ask us to come in for an interview at MTV. And then we all know what happened there. Dirty Sanchez launched. And then Dirty Sanchez happened when didn't even expect it to go as crazy as what it did, but it did. And I had umpteen years of fun doing that. And then I just got a bug for fitness and endurance. And I've pretty much been doing the same since. And then I turned vegan in 2015 and decided to start my own YouTube channel with me cooking. And then the BBC picked it up. And then that's how Dirty Vegan happened. And this is where I am now.
Man, I mean, what an adventure. What a story so far.
It's been fun.
For people of my sort of generation, you know, Dirty Sanchez is where you came on the radar for sure, absolutely. And when was that? That was the 90s, wasn't it? Sort of mid-90s.
2001.
Is that 2001? God, I'm losing time already. So obviously there was the Jackass lot over in the States, and then it was like you boys popped up on the radar, and you took it to a whole new level. If there's anyone out there that's never seen any of the Dirty Sanchez stuff, wow, YouTube it. Have a bucket ready and YouTube it. Mate, what an adventure. There are umpteen different questions. I've got 3 different platforms. I've got my Patreon, I've got Insta, and I've got Facebook. I just had a quick look just now to see what questions we've got, and there's loads. So how about we just crack on now, and we'll work our way through, because everyone will have questions that I have as well. So if we head across to Patreon first, the clan, that's patreon.com/TeapotOne. First one is from Bronson. Hi, Bronson here. Hope you're all well. My question is, what was the prank or stunt that made you feel, okay, that's hit the limit?
There were many. There were many, but clearly we didn't learn from the very first one that happened. But I think when I got shot at point blank range in Prague with a bulletproof vest on, and it was... the cameraman had a camera on the floor filming up me and a camera filming standing up, and he shot me. All I had on was a pair of sunglasses, and one of the bullets went through my arm and knocked me backwards. And then the cameraman said, can we do it again? I didn't press record.
No.
I was like, no, because scarred all my chest, and the guy who shot me just realized that's fine. He didn't expect it to be so bad, and said, "I'm not doing that again."
Yeah.
There was the stinging nettles as well.
Oh, I remember
Plus,
that.
There was so many things, but they were good fun.
What did he shoot you with? What weapon?
Shotgun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's why it just went. It sprayed out, and that's why one of them went through my arm.
Oh my God!
But it was a buzz. It was a buzz, though.
Make you feel alive for sure. Bronson's got a second part to his question. He says, "Do you think that all the endurance events are to replace the pain from the show and get your head straight?"
I think, it's sort of swapping one addiction for another. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed going absolutely bonkers on the party scene and stuff, and that caught up with me like it does everyone. And I just, and I just wanted to look after myself, because I was a skateboarder for many years, and I was fit and I was healthy, and and then that party and the Sanchez came in, that sort of took it all away, and I just wanted to go back to that place and be fit again. But obviously, because I was a little bit older, skateboarding took a toll on my body. I still love skateboarding today, and I still do go skateboarding. But I did the Cardiff half when I was 15. I wanted to see if I could do it again. I did, and then I found a buzz, and I got this bug for fitness, triathlon, marathons, and me being me, my addictive personality. I wasn't just happy with one marathon. I had to run the whole country, and then one Ironman became 2 Ironman, 3 Ironman, 10 Ironman, and just so forth and so forth, and it just escalated, and it still is escalating at the age of 48.
So what's on the radar then in terms of your endurance events? Anything you can talk about?
Well, I've just rode the Atlantic. I rode from Fuerteventura to Antigua, which took 7 weeks, 24/7, 2 hours on, 2 hours off. Yeah, that was just the best thing ever. It was amazing. It was really, really tough. Best, amazing life experience. And now that I'm back, I'm sort of trying to focus on doing something else. I've got a backyard ultra to do August 27th, which is last man standing. So you're just running around in 4.1 mile circles until you just chuck a towel in. Right. And then I've got something planned for my 50th. So, but I'm starting to work on it now anyway. So it'll be a world first. So let's wait and see.
Oh man, awesome. Yeah, I was following your row across the Atlantic. It was amazing to see how, like, because obviously you rode in pairs, you and Billy and Johnny and Martin. And it was weird to see the dynamics of the two pairs, because you and Billy seemed to thrive. It was plainly incredibly hard and mentally really quite a thing to get through. But you were very positive about it and loved it. And yet when you looked at Johnny and Martin, they almost looked like broken men, and they were like, I had Johnny on last week, and he was saying that it was just one of the toughest things mentally he has ever experienced. He just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We all 4 of us were broken men, in some kind of way. Well, and when I talk about, I talk about that I enjoy it, but it was really, really hard. And I had a few bad days as well, like Johnny and Martin. It wasn't every day I wasn't like full of beans. I had about 4 days when I went to a pretty dark place, and I just go quiet and just try and deal with it. And when I injured my back, then that really put me in really pissed me off, because I had to go in the front, and I was just laying there, and I just felt like I couldn't help the team. I just just crying and just it's just speaking to people like my fiance and people and the Monkey Fist people, and they sort of picked me out of my dark hole and just got on with it and just helped the team and cooked their food and stuff. And so it was good. It was. I would definitely do it again. It was really tough, and it was just it was just a good. It was just a good experience, man. It was brilliant. Yeah.
I want to say thanks, because you boys all together, there was quite an emphasis on males' mental health, and obviously the vegan side of it as well, vegetarian side of it, and it was just quite a. I don't want to say your role models. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but it was refreshing to see 4 guys open up the way you 4 opened up on your podcasts and everything as you were doing it, and it was just sort of almost comforting to know, all right, these guys, they're doing this amazing thing. They're obviously really strong physically and mentally, but you're still going through what you were going through. And it was, I'm sure you have helped umpteen, not just men, but you've helped loads of people out there who go through tough times. And I suppose they know now it's not just them. So top men for doing that.
Yeah, cheers, man. I mean, it was, they were great charities we did it for. Yeah. And, I think we can all agree with this COVID and the lockdowns and stuff, the mental health epidemic is just gone crazy. I mean, we're not designed to be locked down. A lot of people are going through hard times. A lot of people lost jobs, and raising awareness and money for such things is really important. And obviously for me as well, raising awareness for Dean Farm Trust and the animals. And for me as well, just when you go vegan, a lot of people say that you're going to be weak. And doing these long endurance events like, the Deca, 10 Ironman, 10 days, rowing the Atlantic, all on a vegan diet, I think I can safely say, I've proved quite a few people wrong. And Absolutely. You don't really need meat or dairy to get you from A to B on such physical and demanding mental challenges.
Now, I know there's going to be some questions. I had a quick look on Insta there, and there are definitely questions about that. So I'll not touch that yet, but we will come back to the vegan side of stuff. Next question, Pete English. Hi, guys. Hope you're both fitting well. Wow, fantastic to have Mathew on the podcast. I spent a lot of the 90s watching. So I mean noughties, but also trying to stop my young son from watching. Question, there must be things you did to your body you regret, and what was the worst thing you did to someone else?
What was the worst thing I'd done to somebody else? I tried not to do anything to anyone else because I feel really bad. I'd get I'd always just do it to myself, because if I did it to myself, I wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I was saying that I actually did quite a few bad things to Panch, me and Dave.
Your Pancho was in my head. I was just thinking he took a lot of the brunt of it.
He did too. But the thing is, you didn't see all the stuff that he used to do to us after he'd have a few beers. So that's the reason why we did what we did to him. I mean, I was putting one of those bicycle U-locks around his neck and putting saucepan lids attached to it as well. So when he woke up, he sounded like a one-man band and he couldn't get it off. And Joyce, she'd swallow the key and stuff, just stuff like that. But it's not horrible stuff. It's just comedic stuff, isn't it? But the stuff like that was the best stuff. It was just people found that absolutely hilarious. We found it hilarious doing it, and it was just so much fun. But as far as hurting other people, I don't think I really got to the point where I actually did that.
Was it you that got dragged across the sandpaper on your naked arse? And then
yes,
was it vinegar or something rubbed into it afterwards?
Bottom vinegar.
Oh my God.
I did that. I remember I first did that, and it was just agony.
Hang on, you first did that.
I've done it 4 times. I've done it 4 times in my life, and I remember going to sleep that night, and I slept on my back, and my ass was on my bed sheet. I woke up in the morning, and all the blood dried into the sheet. Oh. So for me to get out of bed, I had to rip it all off my ass again, and the blood opened up. It was just, and then we did Reading, and the first ever Reading, it was just such a buzz. And I thought, well, it was like 5,000 people in the tent. It was just packed, and I thought, well, we're gonna have to give them what they've paid for. Let's go all out. So I said, I'll do the sandpaper thing again. And there was on another 2 other occasions where that sort of cropped up, and I thought, well, for me, if you're going in, you're going in. Let's do it. So yeah.
Forgive the expression, but your arse must be like leather now. Impervious to sandpaper.
After sitting on that bloody boat going from Lanzarote to Antigua, I'm still suffering with boils and stuff from it. It's just my ass is ruined from that row.
It sounds torturous. It really does. The whole experience just sounds torturous.
Yeah, well, you just get on with it, didn't you?
Will you do it again?
Yeah, it would, yeah.
Awesome. Mega.
My fiance's downstairs going, no. You ain't going in, you're gonna. Yeah, anyway.
Right, next one, Joe Hicks. Great to have Matt on the show. So many of my younger years spent watching Dirty Sanchez. What made you go vegan, and what vegan dish would you recommend for a meat lover like me?
Joe Hicks. Is that the one who does all the stuff, all the keep fit?
No, I keep thinking that as
Joe
well.
Wicks.
Joe Wicks, yeah.
Why did I go vegan? I'm an animal lover. when I was doing all this ultra endurance stuff and reading about, reading interviews with a lot of endurance people and stuff on the internet, and a lot of them were on a vegan diet, and I wondered why, and I started researching into it, and then somebody mentioned Cowspiracy on Netflix, and I watched that, and as soon as, and to me, veganism was just, it just didn't eat meat or dairy. And like most non-vegans, you take the piss out of them, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Just because you don't understand and you're a bit naive. And then I watched Cowspiracy and I was like, whoa, that just really, I was like, well, I didn't know any of this. Like the stuff that it does to the environment and the amount of forest trees that get knocked down just to feed us a bit of meat. I could go on and on. The amount of water used just to make a burger as well, and I was just like, "Wow, this is pretty alarming stuff." And I just made that decision. I think I actually went pescatarian before I watched Cowspiracy, and that was the icing on the cake. Then, and I just went the next day. I just went vegan, and that relit my my fire, my flame for cooking. I've always enjoyed cooking anyway, but then I started trawling YouTube to see which kind of dishes that I could replace what I was eating, and that's when I realised that, oh my God, there's a lot of these vegan YouTube channels which are goddamn boring. Yeah. So I thought, let's do my own one and bring a bit of comedy and a bit of fun to it, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. But as for food for other people, I mean, there's so much, man. I mean, curries, vegetable curries, they're banging it. Chickpea curry in a hurry.
My wife said to me, I found this recipe. It's some Sri Lankan vegetable curry or something, and I'll put my hand up. I've taken the mick out of, veggies and vegans. My son went vegetarian. I'm not sure if he's gone vegan yet. He's like 24 now. His mum's, I think she's vegan. So, I've always been around it, and it's lighthearted. You know what it's like. It's lighthearted piss taking.
Yeah, of course. But,
he went vegan, and what was the point of this? Oh, yeah, the curry. So my wife said, right, come on, let's make this. And I thought, there's no meat in it. I'm just not going to enjoy this. I'll tell you what, it's one of the nicest things I've ever eaten. It's amazing. It's called a Sri Lankan vegetable curry, I think it's called. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I don't like that. For vegan food's horrible. So you don't realise that pretty much almost every single meal you have has got some kind of vegan food in it. Whether it be a vegetable or whether it's, everyone just thinks we eat bloody lettuce and grass. But anyway, there's plenty of decent recipes around. And the internet is full of it, full of information. So that's there to help you all.
Now you've got, is it two books out now? 2 vegan cookery books? 2
vegan books, yeah.
Where can people get them?
You can get them on Amazon, or you can get them in most bookshops. And there we are. And if anyone's stuck for any recipes, there's loads of recipes in my 2 books.
There we go.
And that,
I'll put all the links.
Yeah, stick them all up there. Yeah,
I'll pop all the links down below, folks.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Right, crack on with the next one. Clive Goodwin, great to have Mathew on. As a fellow vegan since October 2014, do you ever get grief for going vegan from friends, family, or indeed total strangers? If so, what do you come back to them with? We all know that the planet would be a better place if we all went vegan, but it's just convincing others to follow suit.
I do get shit off my mates for especially when I first went vegan, but it's really just like light-hearted fun.
Yeah.
You just have a laugh. Do you know what I mean? When I started doing Dirty Vegan, I got a lot of shit off Welsh farmers. Do you know what? That's why you don't see much. I don't agree with people killing animals for food. Although you won't see my Instagram full of stuff. Having a go at farmers or meat eaters, because I'm just done with it, because you get so much abuse, and I just can't handle it. So I'm a vegan. I do my stuff. I don't support it. I eat a vegan diet. I don't buy leather shoes. I do my utmost best to do what I can. I mean, I don't think you could be 100% proper vegan, because if I say, if your friend has a car and he came to pick you up with leather seats, if you were a full vegan, you refuse to sit in it. But do you know what I mean? So I just do my utmost best, and I sort of try and keep the vegan stuff on my socials as positive as I can. And for those having to go with me, I just try and switch try and turn them off, man. I'm done. I'm 48. I'm done with arguing with people. If you want to eat meat, that's your choice. I don't agree with it, but if I want to eat grass and lettuce and whatever, or tofu and whatever else they think that I eat, then cool, man. Just leave me alone. So I'll do my thing. You do your thing. And let's all live in peace and harmony. Let's not start ripping each other's heads off, because the world's in a pretty bad place as it is. So let's give a hug, man.
Clive also asked, what's your favourite plant-based milk? Plant-based milk? I've never heard of that. Wow.
Yeah, plant-based milk, man. There's loads.
I don't drink milk, so...
Well, I used to love milk, but I can't stand it now. But
yeah, same.
My favourite plant-based milk is Oatly Barista for coffee and coconut milk for cereals and stuff like that. But I went last night, just come back for a swim, and I popped into Tesco in Cardiff, and I went to the plant-based milk section. It's just like everyone's just gone crazy for plant-based milks, which is brilliant, because it was just like almost empty. I couldn't even get any Oatly Barista. I was gutted. Like normally,
first world problems, Matt. First world problems.
Years ago, I'd go to that section, and there's just nobody's even gone anywhere near the things. Yeah. Like, well, I'm not going anywhere near that weird while. And then now all of a sudden, it's just like you're fighting for the stuff that you never used to fight for before. But that's a good
sign, I suppose. Mm.
Exactly. Yeah.
You were saying about Cowspiracy. I've not watched that yet, but I'll say I made the mistake of watching Seaspiracy, and that was it. Literally, the end of that, I was like, I'm not touching any seafood ever again. I ate a squid ring. I ate a squid ring because I thought it was an onion ring.
Well, because Seaspiracy, I did do a lot, because when Seaspiracy came out, a lot of people were talking about it, and they were like, there's a lot of stuff they didn't know, and there's a lot of stuff out there that people don't know that's going on, which is why it's good to see such things. Watch Cowspiracy as well, and if you watch Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy and see exactly what's going on, maybe that will help you make up your mind to the actual craziness and abuse that's going on out there with animals and fish.
Yeah, definitely. Well worth checking them out. Next one, Nick Walters. A question for Matthew. If there were no time or financial restrictions, what would be your ultimate endurance challenge, and who would you do it with?
Oh, I do it on my own, because I like being, no disrespect to anybody else. I just like being in my own mind when I do all these things, and I just switch off away from everyone and everything. And I just, I've actually, there's one thing I'd like to do. I just don't really want to say, because it might happen, and I don't want somebody to do it for me. But,
fair enough.
I mean, I would actually like to. I know Mark Beaumont. He cycled across the world once. I remember I read his book many years ago when I was getting into all the endurance stuff. And he recently just did it in 78 days around the world. So, I mean, that's something I'd like to do.
That's phenomenal.
I'd like to. I watched the documentary. It's unbelievable. He's such a feat of endurance, and he seems like a really nice bloke as well. But I'd also like to run across the world.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, because a lot of people say to me, "Why do you do these things?" And I'm not really good with life. I don't, if that makes sense. But I just, when I'm doing stuff like that, I mean, I'm just in my own little, just in my own little head, just doing my own little thing, going. Nothing else really bothers me. And I know what I've got to do. Got to put one foot in front of another every single all day until I clap.
If you were going to run it, would you run it to try and be the fastest, or would you try and experience everything as you go?
I do it to experience stuff and see things, and because I think if you're going to do something like that, there's so much to see and learn.
Absolutely.
Cultures, languages and stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, by doing it as fast as possible, you're going to miss out on all that. So make it like a little adventure instead.
Definitely. Like I'm in the sort of motorcycle world, and I'll bring it up now. That's 28 minutes, folks. That's a record. This is a record. The longest it's ever taken me to drop it in. I rode around the world back in 2012 to 2014. And there's people... And there's people. That's what kickstarted this whole thing for me, like in the bike world. But there's people who've like ridden around the world as fast as they possibly can. I think it's something stupid like 17 or 18 days. It's ridiculous, and it's an amazing achievement. But what do you experience? You're not meeting the people. You're not seeing the countries. You're not experiencing the cultures and like the sights, the sounds, the smells. Yeah. And there's something totally different about traveling overland. You're not flying in. You're moving through from border to border to border, and you get forced to interact with people because you need to find fuel, you need to find food, you break down, you feel shit and have got to find like a doctor or something, and that side of things. I wasn't a particularly social bloke before, and I found since that trip where it forced me to interact with people and open up and trust people, because you might not know this as well. I used to be a copper, but I used to be old Bill in London, and you get very suspicious of people. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's lying to you. Nobody tells you the truth when you're a copper unless they've been done over, in which case they will. And even then, they're a little bit shady about certain things. But anyway, so I found on this trip, it really opened me up to people and totally changed me. Totally changed me. I'd have never done something like this without, doing that trip. And I just say to people, get out there, just travel, meet people.
It does make you a better person, doesn't it?
100%.
Especially like you said, if you didn't never used to really speak to people and stuff. Just pretty much the same with me. I think when I did that row, and my head was in a bad place before I left, and I came back with a completely different outlook on life, and I'm far more chirpier than what I was before I left. But coming back to the motorcycle thing, I'm literally just about to start my motorcycle journey now. So. I've got my CBT. I missed my CBT this week, actually, but I got another one booked in. I've got a Mutt 125 on the way. And then as soon as I've done that, I'm going to do my theory. Then I'm going to do, obviously, a bike test. And then Matt to put me together on my own little bike so I can go on adventures and stuff in the future. I'm looking forward to it. I've always wanted to ride a bike, so... Yeah, I'm going to start, and I'm looking forward to it.
Mate, if you want to do something on the bikes, let me know. 100%, I would do something with you. That would be mega. Yeah, well, I can put you in touch with the wheelie schools. Great fun. I've just done it.
No, there's the thing called a wheelie school.
Oh, mate, it's mega. Yeah. They rent an airfield, a runway, and you just spend the whole day pinning it up and down the runway, learning how to wheelie. It's mega. Next level wheelie school. Shout out. You got to do it. They'd love to have you there.
Yeah, it'd be a flip.
Right, you're on. Next one, Dave Watrick. Great to have... sorry, I thought we just covered this. Dave Watrick. Great to have Matthew on. My question, of all the stunts, which one hurt the most? The Hoax paintball shot world record has to be up there. Will there ever be a Sanchez reunion?
Paintball world record, yeah. Hands down, fair play to Dave. He got me an absolute beauty there.
Come on, let's relive it. Tell everyone in case they're not aware.
Because when it was the movie, and it was Seven Deadly Sins. And I remember Jim Hickey, the director, phoning me up and saying, "What do you want to do in the movie?" I said, "I wouldn't mind being against Book of Records because I've always wanted to be in it." And that's why you have to do what though. I said, let's see how many paintballs I can take the naked body. And he said, I'll do my research and get back to you. Anyway, he said, that is such a record. I should have researched it myself, but I didn't. That is such a record. But we'll sort it out on film. We won't tell you about it. Obviously, little did I know that they were fucking sorting it out with Dave. And then we were in Russia. It was like -25 or whatever.
Oh.
And Dane gave me this letter and said, this is the official document with the Guinness Book of Records thing. It looked really proper. The world record holder is Anthony Kelly, New South Wales, Australia, 102 paintballs. I was like, I'm going to beat it, man. I'm going to get 103 or more. But those balls are so hard because it was so cold. Yeah, and it was like, I was doing 10 at a time just so I could sort of deal with the pain and then go in again. And then I did it. I was like, yeah, I'm in the Guinness Book. I phoned my mum, phoned everyone, my friends up, and I just said, I'm in the Guinness Book of Records. And then literally 2 weeks later, I remember
2 weeks.
We were in Thailand. I mean, I looked a mess. I literally looked. I don't think they almost didn't let me on the plane from Russia to Thailand because I looked so in such a mess. They thought I had some kind of disease. Yeah. And then I went to a bar to have I taken down my and just to wind him up. Don't know what I was thinking to have his name to wind him up. And I did it in a bar where people were there just drinking. And the guy goes, go to the toilet and get it, make it grow, and then tie a knot on it. And then he tattooed it. And anyway, and I said to Dave, I've just done this to wind you up. And he was like, what the hell is that? I said, I love Dainton. Oh my God, he's right. I got a surprise for you as well. And he said, you know that paintball record? I went, yeah. And I thought, he goes, well, I made it all up. I was like, And that was just the realization then that I wasn't in the Guinness Book of Records and it was all a joke.
And you'd gone through all that.
But it makes me cringe. It makes me cringe. I can't even watch it because I'm just laying there going, I'm so proud. And man, it's the worst. But it was funny though, I suppose.
Was there an ounce of regret or remorse in Dainton for that? Do you think he ever felt sorry for you? He
must have a little bit because he didn't realise how much of a mess I was in. Well, when he saw how much of a mess I was in, he couldn't. He was meant to tell me there and then, but he thought
he couldn't do it.
He said, "I can't," because he was like, when the director going, "Let's just stay on him. He's in a proper mess." And I can't tell him. That's why he waited for me to sort of calm down a bit, and that's why 2 weeks later he told me. So I was in the Guinness Book of Records 2 weeks, I suppose, mentally in my head.
Jesus, man. Yeah, friends like that who needs enemies.
It's all good, though, isn't it?
Is there any plans for another Sanchez? You've had one reunion, haven't you? You've already done a. Well, did you not do a reunion?
Jackass are doing the Jackass for the movie. So, I mean, we haven't. There's no plans, but if something like Jackass 4 starts kicking off, then maybe an interest for Dirty Sanchez's second movie might kick off. Who knows? But we've done a spoken word tour, which was really good. That was fun. It was actually quite nice to be, because we did a lot of live shows back in the day. A lot of, going to nightclubs and doing what we did on the TV, on stage. But it was actually nice this time to do spoken word, be backstage, not getting completely loaded, knowing that you're going on stage to have a bullwhip at your back and a drumstick up your backside and all this kind of stuff. So it was nice to go and then grab a seat, sit down and talk to the audience and talk about those good times. And it was really good because there was a lot of people there who were our age, who had grew up with us.
Yeah.
So, and they were just listening to our stories. And so that was, and Matt Stocks was the host as well. So there was the 4 of us, Stocks hosting it. And that went down really well. So, I mean, never say never. Who knows? Some TV exec might come knocking and say, "Look, Jackass 4 is out. Let's do a Dirty Sanchez movie too."
Yeah. What's it like, man? Because I mean, you boys really are an icon of our sort of generation. I mean, everyone of our generation will know the Dirty Sanchez boys. Any Brits will know them. It must be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think about it that much, to be honest with you. But it was a good time in life, innit? Just think we got away with murder back then. The stuff that we did then, there's no way you could do
Not
that.
Not a hope that would be on television.
No.
Even YouTube would be like, no.
No, exactly. It's just, we come from a good, 2000, the noughties were brilliant, weren't they? They were really good.
Yeah.
And we just had so much fun. I don't think the younger generation today realised how much fun we actually had and the stuff that we did. And if you told them after stuff that we did, they'd be like, what? You actually got away with that? And you did. And it's like, yeah. That's the kind of stuff we used to do back then.
Well, this next question sort of follows on from that quite well. This is the last one of the patrons. Mark Fulcher. He says, what's the worst thing Matt's seen go up someone's arse but thought they may have been pushing it a little, literally?
I don't know how to answer that one. I
wonder if anyone's ever asked a question like that on a podcast before.
I pretty much doubt it, but I think it was good. I used to do a thing called the stellar enema, and we used to put a hose pipe up my backside, and then I put like three pints of stellar up my backside, and then I'd gush it out all over Joyce's face or into a pint glass, and he'd drink it. And I did it on Ibiza Rocks once, but we thought, let's do a cocktail once Ibiza. So we did vodka, Bacardi, that. And then I was the shaker, so I sort of shake it and Gracie had the cocktail. But then Pancho, we were doing the European invasion, and I was suffering because I'd been partying too much, and I lost my marbles. And the health and safety officer said, "There's no way he's going to work tonight to do a live show because his head's gone." And I started losing the plot. So he filled me up full of Valiums and just put me to bed. Pancho then went and he was the person who was going to do the Star Enema. The next morning when I woke up, then goes, "Oh my God, you seen Pancho doing the Stellar Enema last night?" He was literally, he put the tube and he's going, and going.
Oh no.
He's like, wait.
So
this is answering this guy's question. What's the worst thing he's got up someone's ass? And Dane said he was just going and going and going. And he thought, "Punch, stop it. But I gotta get it up there, Dings. I gotta get it up there." And then they put the stellar in, and it went so far into his body that when it came to him having this shit, shit it out into Joyce's face, no Stella come out, just a load of shit. And this was in a bar in Italy, like a cocktail posh bar. Why we were in it, we don't know. And the crowd just Joyce's covered in shit. The crowd just went. I just could not believe it. Dave's like, "Patch, I told you not to put it up so far." And he's like, "Oh, well, I didn't know. Tonight it's my first time doing it." Yeah. Anyway.
Memories.
Memories.
Wow, how do we follow that? Right, thank you very much for that, folks. That's a Patreon question, son. Across to Instagram, at TeapotOne Insta. Next one, Bike Throttle. My childhood hero. I saw Pritchard at Tesco, Culverhouse Cross, running a marathon in a full fireman suit for charity.
That's what I was last night by my milk.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
I just bought a bottle of Jack Daniels and Pritch had a swig mid-marathon because he's an absolute legend. Good effort. Bit of JD during a marathon.
I remember that. That was 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
We had a full fireman suit on with the breathing apparatus and stuff, and I was with a fireman, John Haskell. And John Haskell is actually the guy who's responsible for me doing the row.
All right.
Because he did the row in 2011, and we were actually running on that treadmill to raise money for the firefighters charity, ready for him to do the row in 2011, and he did it in a wooden boat. So that's why we were there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why we were there then. So that's quite funny that question's been brought up because it's sort of interlinks with everything that has sort of been going on now. So Yeah.
Isn't it weird how small the world is, isn't it? You know, people go on about 7 degrees of separation with people, but I reckon it's like 3. It's incredible these days. Like social media has just brought everything, you know, much closer together now, isn't it?
I was saying to somebody the other day, I like going to Pen and Van in the Brecon Beacons, and I used to go there to watch sunrise many years ago, and there was 2 or 3 or 4 cars in the car park, and obviously since the birth of social media, you know, I go up and I take photos of the sunrise. Many other people do as well. Share the love. A lot of people see it, and then all of a sudden, if everyone knows when it's going to be nice, you can't even get a car. You can't even get a parking space in the car park. And this is like 5 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m., depending what time of the year. And it's packed. And you can just see like headlamps going up to the top of the mountain. But at the same time, it's great to see people going out and doing stuff and rather than being stuck in their houses.
Yeah. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it, really? As you said, you know, like you spread that positive message, and then that means there's going to be more and more and more people going to these places. And in some cases, all right, it might spoil the experience for some because there's so many people and you've not got that solitude. But as you said, it's good that people are getting out there and experiencing it, isn't it? You know, it's something, it's fuel for the soul. Next one, Motorev UK. I worked with Matt and Dainton when we were filming for Kill City Skateboards and Skelto trucks, and we'll never forget those times. I try to erase them from my memory, but I can't. Does Matt ever return to his skateboarding, and is Pancho still alive?
I can 100% confirm Pancho was still alive. I spoke to him 2 days ago on the phone before the Welsh football match. He's all good and well. What was the other question?
Do you ever return to your skateboarding? You said that earlier, didn't you?
I mean, the last time I went skateboarding was I actually went with Dave to Dubai for a 40 skateboard trip. I was really looking forward to it because Chris Markovich was going as well, a skateboarder from America who, as a youngster, I used to look up to, still do, you know, amazing skateboarder. And it was my sort of first time back skateboarding properly, and in Dubai they got the best concrete skate parks, as you can imagine. Everything's the best there. I just got super excited, and day 2 I thought I'm going to grind over this big cut pipe, over this gap, and then started one thing led to another. Basically, cut a long story short, a 48-year-old body and a 25-year-old mind thinking he can still do what he did many years ago. And I went flying in the air, landed on my back, squealing in agony, pretty much almost close to tears. That cut my skateboarding. And day 2, couldn't skate all week. Came home, went to the hospital, had an X-ray, fractured my spine.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that was me then, because I had to lay off everything for 6 months. And then lockdown happened, and into lockdown I went. So
that was it.
That was that.
God, believe it. Well,
so I do still skate, but I've just got to try and stop myself from thinking I can still do what I used to do back in the day. So
Never admit defeat. Never admit defeat. No. You're talking about skateboarding. Something just popped into my head, which I'm pretty sure most people have never seen before. I used to work in the diplomatic protection part of the Old Bill in London, and I was out the back of Downing Street, and Mr. Cameron, David Cameron, was PM at the time, and I heard this noise. I turned around, and David Cameron is on a skateboard trying to show his I shit you not, he's showing his son how to bring a skateboard down a curb, and I was like, he's in full suit and everything, and I was like, no, that's something I never thought I'd ever see.
No way, that's amazing. Cameron on the skate. I'd love to see footage of that.
I wouldn't say he was particularly good, but he was on the skateboard, so do better than I could.
It doesn't matter, but to see that footage would be pretty brilliant.
I wish I'd filmed it. Yeah. Next one, John Victorious. I used to work with John on the doors in Glasgow. He's a good boy. No questions from me. Just going to say, well done on your Atlantic row, big man. Proud of your achievements. Glasgow for pints soon. There you go, it's an offer.
I've been to Glasgow quite a few times, and there's always, Scotland in general is just, you're never going to not have fun in Scotland, do you? Especially with the Scots. And seeing the Scots in England for the English game was just hilarious. All the coats causing havoc in the streets of London. It was just brilliant. You may have lost the football, but you won the drinking and the fun. Put it that way.
Absolutely.
Well, he didn't lose the football. You drew, actually, but
it's a drew. That's as good as a win for us. We've won. That's it.
The
whole thing, exactly. We've won.
But I think is the Cat House the Cat House in Glasgow.
That's where we used to work. Yeah, I used to.
No way.
I worked in the garage, which was like the sort of poppy version of the Cat House. The Cat House was the rock side of the two clubs. So when you said that you used to go to nightclubs and do appearances, I was like, I'm sure I remember you boys coming to the clubs to do it when we used to do doors.
I think we did the Cat House twice. It was that's a hell of a joint, that is.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Great place. Great place.
Yeah. It's a proper rock place, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. The original Cat House was a proper den of iniquity, that was. And then it sort of almost went up market to probably the one that you went to on the crossroads there. That might be where John he might have met. Well, that's probably where he met you, because he used to go down the Catty all the time.
Yeah,
good boy.
John,
nice
John, what's his name?
I'm trying to remember his surname. John Victorious is the name on here.
Yeah, I know John. He's a copper as well.
That's right. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, John. I've had a few nights out with John. He's a good boy. Yeah, sorry,
fella.
He's in a rock band now, and he's a guitarist.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah. What's happening, John boy?
John, I'm so sorry. I forgot his surname, mate. I do apologise.
No, he's a good boy, John. Really like him.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I used to do doors with him through the 90s up on Sauchiehall Hall Street most of the time in Glasgow. Top lad. Right, next one. The real, what we got? 10 minutes left. I'll try and fire through these, bud. The real Matt Barker. Should be hilarious, this one. Not really bike related, but did the Dirty Sanchez lads ever do anything with the Jackass boys?
No, we didn't. No, I didn't do anything at all. I've met one or two of them, but we haven't. No, we didn't do anything. I don't think the suits would allow it. Yeah,
it would be utter carnage, I think, if you try to outdo each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one. Where are we here? Sorry, mate. I'll just run through these. Hat mechanics. Will Pritchard be reattempting the world record of paintballs to the body?
No, he won't.
That'll be a no.
That's a simple no.
I said the Phil. I saw Sanchez live years back at the NAS Festival. I very much doubt that would be allowed now. No, not a chance. My question would be, given his lifestyle changes over the year, are there any things he did as part of Dirty Sanchez you really regret? No, I don't regret anything really. I mean, there was maybe a few decisions we could have done, which most probably would have put us in a different, which would have taken us in a different life path. But I mean, you can't, it's not a regret. It's just, it is what it is, isn't it? We made other decisions and we didn't do those decisions. So, yeah.
But as far as now, I mean, I can't really moan. We've had a laugh. We've really had a lot of fun. And let's face it, if Sanchez didn't happen at all, I'd most probably be in a job 9 to 5 or whatever. Not that there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 job, but it's just not for me. And if anything, I'm just grateful for what I've had, and there's no regret.
Absolutely, best way to be. Robert Newman, 27. Question for you both: if you had a time machine and only one go, would you go back in time and change the course of history? And what would you change? Or would you go into the future and see how the world is getting on to prepare yourself for what's to come? Wow.
I don't want to see the future.
No.
No. Honestly, man, it's literally, it just feels like we're going into the future now, and it's absolutely depressing. It's the world's in a proper mess, and if anything, everything's going in the wrong direction for me. It's just we sort of had like lots of fun. We had quite a lot of freedom, really, when you think about it. And now going into the future, it just looks there's a lot. I'm trying to be positive here, but at the same time, it's just a bit of a negative, isn't it? It's just.
I get a bit like that, man. Yeah, I do look at things and just think, Jesus, what world is my boy inheriting here, and like, his kids and further down the line. But then I also look at it and I think, well, you know what? If you look back in time at every generation before us, every generation has had catastrophic, horrific things happen. Momentous. The previous generations to us had the war, the First, Second World Wars, and before that there was lots of other wars. And there's been plagues. There's been, Spanish plagues in the late 1800s, 1900s. So every generation at some point, every century has had something catastrophic happen. And although things are different for us because of technology and everything like this, I just think as humans, the human spirit works it out. It just, you get to where you think, are we at the lowest point possible? Can it get any worse than this? Where the hell are we going? And something happens, and it's almost like it's reborn again, and you start again, and you go through the next thing, and you get a peak, and then it comes to a trough. And
yeah, but I think a lot of it a lot of it shouldn't have happened, but it's just through greed and selfishness and power that a lot of it has happened. And there's normally a man in a suit telling youngsters to go to war and fight their fight their war for and things like that. I don't agree with that personally, but hey, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we're all still breathing. Let's just try and keep a positive head on and keep rocking, innit?
Absolutely. All you can do is
stop it.
No, all you can do is live the best life for you and look after those that are around you. At the end of the day, that's what you've got control of, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, we'll have to make this one the last one, man, if that's all right. The way our time is, let's have a quick look here. Here's a nice one. Ground hugger. How does he cope without Lemmy when he's away doing stuff? Now, Lemmy's your Cocker Spaniel, isn't he?
English Spaniel, yeah.
Oh, sorry, apologies. Yeah.
I know, that's right, that's cool. He's downstairs now. He's brilliant. I got him when he was 6 months old. He was the runt of the family of the puppies, and a farmer bought all of them apart from him. That's why I had him, and he's just been my little soulmate ever since. But he's just the best, man. He's just, I mean, when I go away, he's always by my side 24/7. And whenever I go, if I go to work, when I'm in my van, he's in the passenger seat. So he just comes everywhere with me. So I think the longest I've been without him was obviously on the row. He stayed at my parents' house. They looked after him. And I had my fiancée gave me a little necklace with a photo of him and a photo of her. So when I was on the boat, I can always have a look. I always look at them every now and again just to give me a little bit of inspiration. And then coming home knowing I was going to go and see him again, it was just, it was quite emotional, to be honest with you. And then
I bet it was.
So I put it on my Instagram, and then he just saw me come out of the car, and he's like, as the spaniel does, goes absolutely crazy, starts crying, pissing everywhere as spaniels do. And it was just, it was just a good moment. And then for that, because I had to quarantine for 10 or 14 days, it was, he did not leave my side. He sleeps on my bed anyway, but normally in the middle of the night, he'll be slept down by my feet or whatever. But this time he wouldn't leave. He was literally clutched up right into me. So yeah, it was nice.
It's unconditional, isn't it, with a dog?
Oh, it is. Honestly, the humans do not deserve dogs. They're absolutely amazing. I took him to Ireland to spend some time with my fiancée. She lives in Dublin. Because of Brexit and everything, I had to get all this paperwork, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he's now got a European passport, so he can go back and forth to Dublin as much as possible without having to me worrying about getting paperwork and stuff. So
happy days. Dude, that's your hour. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Matt, it's been awesome catching up with you and hearing about what you've been up to.
Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. And listen, when you're doing your bike stuff, honestly, if you want to do something, let me know. Got a fair few contacts in the old bike world these days, so if we can help out, get anything lined up for you, be an absolute pleasure.
Brilliant. No worries, man. Thanks very much.
No worries. Dude, before we go, do you want to give a shout out? Do you want to plug your books? Feel free. Stage is yours.
I don't want to plug anything, really. Just going to give a shout out. My fiance's downstairs, Lemmy, family, the usual people, and anyone who's really sort of helped me get to where I am today. Cheers. Thanks very much. Happy days.
Sweet, man. Well, folks, if Matt's not going to do it, I'll do it. There'll be links for his book, his socials, everything like that in the show notes. If you listen to the podcast, check out the show notes. If you're watching the vid, look at the vid description. It'll all be there, so make sure you give him a follow. Matt, again, thank you very much for joining me. Folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Been a quick one this week. However, keep doing your thing. Keep looking after those that you love. Get on out there whenever you can and live your life. Woo-ha!
Yeah,
Dude, awesome, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks very much. Take it easy, man.
Bye.